Hi, it's Barb, Meeble PhD, with another Cosmic Game Connection. Recently, NASA announced that its NICER telescope had observed 3 hot spots on the surface of a magnetar that migrated and merged together. Now that sounds like a bit of jargon, so let's break it down. First of all, a magnetar is a type of neutron star, which itself is the crushed core of a star that's bigger than our sun, but not big enough to become a black hole. Now, neutron stars are super dense. They pack the mass of our sun into a sphere no bigger than the island of Manhattan. And they have massive magnetic fields. A normal neutron star has a magnetic field trillions of times that of Earth's magnetic field. And magnetars, they up that game by another 1,000 times, thus their name. Now, this particular magnetar, called SGR 1830, was first observed by the SWIFT satellite in October of 2020. SWIFT detected a pattern in the emission from this magnetar, pointing to a 10.4 second rotation period. So think about that for a second. This is a sun-massed sphere that is packed into a region of about 12 miles. That is spinning every 10.4 seconds. That's amazing. It's not a record. They spin faster than that, but still pretty cool. Now, NICER started observing it right away, and it observed it every single day until November of that year when the sun got in its way. Now, NICER doesn't take images. What it can do is it can precisely time each incoming X-ray photon, so it knows precisely when it hits the detector. And what it did was it looked at that 10.4 second rotation and saw within it 3 distinct X-ray peaks that were very close together. And what this told the team was that there were 3 different hotspots, 3 different places on the surface of this magnetar that were emitting X-rays. And as they tracked those over the 37 days that they observed it, the peaks got closer and closer together until they seemed to merge together. And so what that means is that those hotspots, it saw that there were 3 spots, and by the end there was 1, and so they had come together into one hotspot. So what they think happened is that those hotspots formed and then moved along the crust, similar to the way tectonic plates move around Earth. Now, astronomers think that the magnetic field and the crust in neutron stars, and magnetars as an extreme example of them, are inextricably linked, so that changes in one will cause explosive changes in the other. And so by studying this kind of event in a magnetar, we're going to get closer to understanding how the crust and the magnetic fields are linked in these bizarre objects. So when I thought about watching these 3 hotspots come together and connect on the surface of this magnetar, the game that came to mind was Bunny Kingdom. Bunny Kingdom is a drafting game where players are using cards in order to claim territories on a board, produce different resources, and ultimately have the most prosperous empire. The game is set up with the board in the center of the table, and each player taking all of the colors of one bunny. Then the other resources are placed within reach, and the cards shuffled. It's played in 4 rounds. Each round, players get a hand of cards. The number depends on the player count. And each turn, players will look at their cards and take 1 or 2, again depending on player count, and play them out in front of them. The different cards show, some of them just show a set of coordinates where you will place one of your bunnies and claim a territory on the board. It might show a city or a different kind of construction, like a resource that you can place on the board. Those are simply placed in front of you, and you can wait until the time that you would like to build them into one of your fiefs, which is a connected set of territories. Or you might get a scroll, which is a game end scoring card. That's just placed face down and waits till the end of the game. Once you've played your cards, then you pass your hand around and you will pick cards out of your new hand of cards. And play continues like that until the end of the round. At the end of the round, there is some mid-game scoring. You will go through each of your fiefs on the board. Again, a fief is a connected region of different territories. You'll count up how many different towers there are on the cities in that fief. This is the strength of that region. And then you will multiply that by the unique resources that it produces. And this includes the pre-printed resources on the board like carrots, wood, and fish, but also other resources that you can add by cards that you've drafted. For each region, you get a score, and then the next round begins with a brand new hand of cards. After the fourth round, you will do this scoring one more time, and then everybody reveals their scrolls and scores those up, and whoever has the most points wins the game. Now, of course, a big part of this game is waiting for just the right card in order to bring together two of your different fiefs, because perhaps one has all the towers but only one or two resources, so you're not getting a lot of points for it. But another fief might have all of the resources but not a lot of cities. And so if you could just bring those together, since you're multiplying number of towers by number of resources, you could just come away with a lot of points. And so, it's that part of the game where you are just waiting for the right cards and finally get the one that will bring together a couple of your different regions that had me thinking about the hotspots of this Magnetar coming together. So the next time you get Bunny Kingdom to the table and you get just that right card to bring together two of your best fiefs to score it up, take just one moment to pretend that you are on the surface of a Magnetar, watching a couple of hotspots come together. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions about the science or the game, please leave them in the comments below. Or maybe this result made you think of a different game. I'd love to hear about that too. You can find me on the internet as @MeeplePhD on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow my blog at meeplephd.com, and of course, like and subscribe to my channel so that you know when my new videos come out. I'll see you again.